Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, my number one is Anarchy Reigns on the Xbox 360, also available on the PlayStation 3. I take it you haven't played this yet?
Do you know what? I've been trying to buy it. I went to Asda in Bournemouth, didn't have it. Just been to HMV in Guildford, where I am right now. Nope. Don't have it there either. I'm going to order it online. But yeah, I was hoping just to be able to nip into shop, try and support retail, but can't.
Yeah, actually, I managed to get it in a shop. I got it in game on Friday morning. And they seem to have loads of copies at the game in Brighton. But yeah, whatever. This is a difficult one because I'm such a huge fan of Platinum, and I almost paid £80, I think, a few months ago when I found out that you could play the 360 version region free over here, the Japanese version. I'll say it's good. It threatens to become very good repeatedly, but I'm glad I didn't pay £80 for it.
Sure.
It's a very, very funny game. I mean, I think that it's the by far the least slick in terms of visuals and just the general flow of combat that Platinum have ever made. I mean, I think if I stuck on Mad World and put it in the Wii U with the slight upscaling that entails, it would still be a better looking game than this. This is an ugly game. I mean, it looks cheap and quite nasty at certain points. Have you seen it running?
Yeah, I've seen some footage of it. I still can't wrap my head around what it is.
Yeah, it's difficult to explain. Just going back to the visuals for a moment. I mean,
sorry.
There's slowdown at certain junctures. There's pop up. There's jagged edges galore, and there's that kind of Nintendo 64 haze over it. So it looks kind of, it looks like a hell of a cheap game. And when Platinum are known for these incredibly slick, incredibly good-looking games, this is that took me by surprise because I'd kept away from it. I hadn't seen it running or anything like that. Basically, it's a very, very, I'll say mindless. There's a little bit more to it, but it's a brawler basically. You start off. You can either play as one of two characters, either Max from Mad World or this other character. I can't believe I've forgotten his name. But the game's broadly the same either way, and it's actually quite. The structure of the game involves a lot of grinding. You have to get into all these fights, build up your points, and once you've got your points to a certain level, you can go and do a campaign mission. I'm pretty sure didn't Mad World that had a similar kind of structure, didn't it?
It sounds like Mad World, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only difference between this and Mad World is that you don't get loads of points for sort of flair. That you'd use the environment. I mean, you still use the environment. You pick up cars and throw them, and you pick up signposts and just sort of jam them through people's heads and stuff. It's not particularly gory, and it's difficult because I say it's mindless, and it kind of is. There's special moves you can do and stuff, and you can utilise the environment, but you get swarmed by enemies. There's not a lot of sort of tactics you can employ because the camera doesn't really allow it. But it's a game that every single time I've played it, I've found myself wanting more of it. There's something incredibly just Moorish about combat. You're this big, lunk-headed guy, and it's meaty. There's something so satisfying about just fucking running into a herd of people and just bashing the shit out of them. But the fact that you grind for a bit and then you have to go to you go to a campaign mission, and that involves a lot of grinding, normally followed by a boss. I mean, it's really difficult because there is something about it that's really, really sort of engaging. And as I said, I've played it 4 times on 4 different sessions for several hours each time. And every time, I mean, there's been times when I haven't been playing it, I'm like, I really fancy playing that because it does offer something that you don't quite get. I mean, I was expecting perfection because that's what Platinum deals in, and it's not perfect. And that's sort of highlighted best by the multiplayer, because in many ways this is supposed to be a multiplayer game, but you have to take it as kind of a Super Smash Brothers melee. You basically can't worry too much about winning because you get. When combat's one-on-one, it's really, you can get really sucked into it. But most of the game types, and I'm pretty sure there's 12 or more game types. You'll be having a one-on-one fight with someone, and then someone else will steam into both of you, and probably steal your kill as well, which is fantastically irritating. And that's basically it's just a scrum, and there's not a lot of tactics you can employ. You just have to just sort of enjoy it as a sort of mad party game. Although having said that, the best multiplayer, the best game type I had was on Capture the Flag, because you know what? I don't even know quite why it works, because you think that having an objective would be the most irritating thing, but there was something very funny about just getting the flag and then just getting pummeled by like 3 guys at the same time. And you know, there's all these jumps. You know, it's silly. The capture the flag mate is just so stupid, because the other ones are quite sort of, you know, it's fighting, it's in here, go ahead. Whereas capture the flag, you're flying around the environments and there's 3 teams and the flag spawns, I think at random, but possibly at one point. But it's just, there's something. It's like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
It sounds quite fun.
Fun is the wrong word. Funny, definitely. But if you actually sit down and say, I want to try and win this match, don't hurt yourself.
Okay.
And then, you know, if you bought it new, you'll have a code for 2 new different modes. One of them's dogfight, which you can hijack vehicles in the campaign, and this basically is you're fighting as choppers in the sky. It's okay. It's quite fun. It's a sort of throwaway thing. The other free mode that you get with the download code is Mad Survival, which is basically 3-player Horde, which is, for some reason, is nowhere near as sort of disposable as you think. Because Horde is in everything, and I didn't think I ever wanted to play a Horde knockoff ever again. But Horde in this, 3 of you have to be strategic, because if all 3 of you die, you have a sort of 10-15 second window, and if you're all dead during it, that's it. And it's mad and it's crazy. That's that. Actually, the 2, well, dogfight less so, but Mad Survival is one of the sort of, along with Capture the Flag, is one of the best things about the multiplayer. As I said though, the multitude of different options in multiplayer, the different game types, trying to find. I mean, when I went into dogfight, which you think everyone would be playing because everyone bought it new, if they're playing it now, I had to sit in the lobby for 20 minutes. And the same happened with Mad Survival. Unless you go to Quick Match and just take whatever you get, it's actually really hard to find a great game. And I thought this game was going to really take off at that price point for £20. I thought this was going to. It doesn't appear to have sold that well, though, does it? Like the lower echelons of the top 20 this week, I think.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't help that. I mean, I've tried to buy it, like I said. People aren't buying it in, so it's tough. But I will get it. Just it's so cheap and it's platinum.
Yeah,
and it still sounds fun and funny.
It is fun. I mean, to be honest, I'd love friends more. I've tried to convince friends to buy it, and they're not biting, unfortunately. But it's a game that's continuing, and I think it will continue beyond this to grow on me. I think it's something that needs a little bit of time, and there is nuance to the combat. It's just that, you know, it's got a very, very skewed. There's nothing out there offering what this offers. When you play it online, you're just thinking, I haven't actually I don't think I've ever played a game like this. I say Smash Brothers, but that's just to sort of give you an idea of how chaotic it is. Because you do get everything, you know, mental. The team deathmatches work a little bit better, but by and large, it's all about Mad Survival for me. But yeah, it's difficult. The campaign's nice. It's kind of forgettable. It's just Baron from Mad World, you know, that pimp guy, my favourite character from Mad World. He's back in it. There's this weird Max's dead child subplot that's supposed to tug at the heartstrings, and he's like, why in a game like this? Why? There's a Russian character who bucks the trend of all video games ever by not being called Nikolai, not being called Dmitri. His name's Nikolai Dmitri. Nice. Yeah, exactly. And it's stupid, but it's lovable, and it's just. I was ready to absolutely fall head over heels in love with this, and I'm not. I think it might happen down the line, because it's something that doesn't. It seems. It is simple, but I think its charms reveal themselves the more you play it. And like I said, I have felt the urge to play it multiple times over the last few days. So I'll keep you updated. But for the moment, for £20, get it. Just don't expect to be blown away.